Buongiorno, good morning, and welcome to Royal Enfield at EICMA. It's good to be back after 2 years. My name is Mark Spiller, and I'm joined today by some familiar faces. We have Mark Wells with us, Chief of Design.
Good morning.
Paolo Bravdani, Chief of Product Development.
Good morning, everybody.
And Arun Gopal, Head of Business for EMEA.
Buongiorno, good morning. The side.
And we're here today to introduce to you the all-new Classic 350 Euro. Plus, we do have some special surprises under the covers. So, without further delay, ladies, could you please remove the covers? Okay, Mark, may we start with you?
Absolutely, Mark, yeah.
Can you tell us, Mark, what the inspiration is behind the new Classic?
I can indeed. So, firstly, hello and welcome to Royal Enfield Stand at EICMA here again for myself. Yeah, the inspiration for the Classics, really we have to go back to 2005. Royal Enfield had been working on developing the new UCE engine, or unit construction engine. And we were looking for a model or a bike to put that in, and we looked at many options. And this engine was going to replace our existing AVL engine, which was an evolution of our old cast iron engine. And we looked, as I say, for many places for inspiration, but ultimately we came back to the G2 Bullet, you can see here. And the G2 Bullet was a seminal piece of design back in the late 1940s, early 1950s. This bike really changed how motorcycles were around the world. It was the first bike with a rubber block cush drive, but perhaps more importantly, it was the first bike ever really as a production model to have a swinging arm, an articulating swinging arm, which is of course how all motorcycles are designed today. So we started looking at how we would incorporate that and pick up the proportions and the style, and here you can see this is an early sketch from back in 2005. For the Classic, where we were, playing with that split seat design and that very traditional Royal Enfield frame line. On this sketch, we were playing with different headlight ideas, but essentially the idea for the Classic was born then. And there's a little anecdote that the colour that came with this bike was really iconic at the time. and we were looking at a coffee table book that the historian Gordon May had produced, and this image was in the book, and we loved the colour of that bike. And it was only years later, when we started doing some of the work for this project, that we found out that in fact the colour had been reproduced incorrectly. The bike's grey, but nevertheless we liked the colour, and it stayed and stuck, and so the bike was launched in 2008 at Intermot, initially as an export model. Initially the intent was to be sold to Europe, but the demand in India was so strong that a few months later we launched the 350 in India. And really, you know, the success of that model has been unprecedented. You know, it's become a bestseller across India, and really, for Royal Enfield, became perhaps our most important model. So, you know, I guess when we started the project, Mark,
yep.
You know, the brief that we were given was, don't cock it up. You know, Sid came to us and said, this is the project we want you to do. This really is Royal Enfield's most important model, so just don't get it wrong.
Mark, second question for you. Who was actually involved in the design process?
Yeah, so the design team, we have 2 locations. We have a design studio in the UK and a design studio in India. And the design team are co-located and split over those 2 locations. And so we work very closely. And so the team working digitally, we share images and details digitally. For this project, we made the clay models in India. So here's an image of the guys building the clay models. And the design team from the UK went over and worked with the team in India. So it's very much a collaborative process.
So Mark, you obviously had objectives during the design phase. What was number 1?
So I think, as I've already said, number 1 was just don't mess it up. You know, was to take this iconic motorcycle and you know, reimagine it, to take all of the things that make it such a great product. So, you know, that instantly recognisable, unique look and feel, but also that accessibility, that usability, that fun, all of the things that really make this stand out, and to capture all of those and evolve it, but also to address all of the, you know, the things that we knew we could make better. And so I think really the number 1 task here was to evolve the product, to make it much better, but also not to throw the baby out with the bathwater, to make sure that the bike that we had carried on that all of the great things about the classic.
Mark, my final question for you at the moment. What are the derivatives, variations for Europe?
Okay, so we've got 3 great colour trim and graphic schemes for Europe. We've got the Halcyon that you can see on the screen here now. So these are inspired by those lovely classic 1950s colourways. You know, I really like the grey there. I think is a stunning colourway. We've then got the monochromatic colours. So we've got the dark gunmetal grey and the stealth black, which are a little bit more contemporary, a little bit more urban in their look. And then finally we're going to have the chromes, and I think these are stunning. So that you can see the chrome red here. You know, all chrome, mudguards, tank, hand pinstripe tank, so still that craftsmanship that we're known for, and just stunning bikes, I think.
Mark, thank you very much. We'll
thank you,
come
Mark.
back to you in a bit. Paolo, over to you, sir.
Thanks, Mark.
Paolo, can I ask you, what were your key objectives when developing the new Classic?
The objective was very, very clear, very easy to say. So we don't want to change nothing, but to change everything. So this bike is completely new, and we want to keep the soul of the previous Classic 350 that was so loved all over the world.
Thank you. So Paolo, what exactly has changed over the outgoing UCE?
Also here the answer is easy. We change everything, basically. The bike is completely new. Everything is a remake from the previous model in order to have a state-of-the-art motorcycle with the actual technology and the actual performance.
Thank you. Now, this platform has also brought us the Meteor. So is the Classic fundamentally just a colour and graphics change?
Absolutely not. The Meteor is a completely different bike. Clear the engine, the base engine is the same, but we have done the special tuning of all the engine settings in order to fulfill the complete different character of the Classic in comparison with the Meteor. And also from the chassis side, there are some fundamental in common, but basically all the chassis, suspension, frame is completely different. So the bike is a different bike from the Meteor with a different character, different ergonomy, different dynamics.
Thank you. Very important question, Paolo, quality. Can you talk a little bit about that, and will it stand up to a European winter?
Quality is a very big focus of all the Royal Enfield team during the last 5 years. Starting with the Twins, that was in 2018, we set a new target on quality. Then with the Meteor, we overpassed this target, and the target of the Classic was to do even better than the Meteor. We achieved this with using a special method that we call Shokiryu Dokanri, that is a Japanese method that we develop inside the company, but also together with all our partners and suppliers on the chain. And the focus is starting from the very early design phases through the engineering, passing through the testing, development, pre-production, and mass production finally. To have this focus, all the team is really focused on the quality. Especially we also develop a lot of testing centers in our technical center in India, where we have set a standard, world global standard for the testing, for the validation, for the MVH, for the dynamic and structural test of the bikes. So I can answer, yes, absolutely, these products have a global level, a state-of-the-art level.
Paolo, thank you very much. Fascinating insight.
Thanks to everybody, grazie e buona giornata.
Arun, I have some questions for you.
Go ahead.
But firstly, just how excited are you to see this motorcycle back in Europe?
Very, very excited, Mark. You'd remember many of us were so disappointed when the Classic 500 came to the end of series in the region. That model accounted for almost 30% of our sales last year. So absolutely delighted to have the Classics reborn in the region, and I'm sure this sentiment reflects amongst all our dealers and customers in this region, because this model is so unique from us.
In terms of the market positioning, who are the potential customers going to be for the new Classic?
We did have a very wide cross-section of customers endorsing the Classic, but a significant majority were the mature biking enthusiasts, the turning riders, and those who just wanted a motorcycle with a very charming single-cylinder air-cooled engine which had so much of unique personality. I think we'll have pretty similar customers endorsing us with the new Classic 352, and especially with urban commuting becoming a challenge, we would have new riders and younger generation and women also endorsing the brand. So we look forward to serving our customers.
Fantastic. Now, I know Rich Rawlings and his team have been extremely busy. So will we have a full range of accessories when the motorcycle reaches the showroom?
Totally, Mark. The team has done a phenomenal job in getting a good range of accessories for us. We would have totally around 36 SKUs, out of which 17 are totally unique to this Classic 350.
Fabulous. Now, the most important question of the day, I'm sure, is the price and availability, Arun.
Firstly, on pricing, Mark, as always, we'll keep our pricing very accessible to our customers. So the entry model, the Halcyon, starts at 4,800 euros. The Dark Series comes at 4,900, and the Chrome, which is right here, it's around 5,000 euros. These prices include 3-year RSA, Pan-European RSA, 3-year unlimited warranty, and a free membership to the Royal Enfield Club of Europe.
So, availability.
The great news is the initial shipments to Europe have started, containers are on their way, and I'm pretty sure that all the dealers across Europe will have the Classic 350 in the beginning of the season.
Arun, thank you very much. Fabulous.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you very much.
So, that's it for the Classic introduction, but don't go anywhere, because right now we have a little glimpse into the future. Now, I might have to ask you all to move around a little for this. Okay. Miriam, would you do the honours, please? Wow. Mark, you've taken a sketch from paper and you have created the most stunning real-life version. Where did the inspiration come from?
So, firstly, Mark, I need to say that I personally can't take credit for this. This is really very much my design team. So the team working with Adrian Sellers, working under Adrian, have created this absolutely stunning concept. Where did the inspiration come from? Well, we wanted to do something that thought about, what else might a Royal Enfield be? Where might it go? And so we started actually by imagining an environment, a world. Some sort of near future, maybe a dystopian world, maybe a kind of a digital world, but where analog still existed. And so we started with that idea, and we then built the concept around that idea. And the idea was to create something that was visceral and real, but had and maintained all of those core Royal Enfield dynamic and cues, but also to try and do something that was reimagined. Taking influences from the custom world, from the things we see being done around us, so almost like a neo resto mod, almost a futuristic image of what might be. And I think the design team have done an absolutely stunning job. I am so pleased with this. I think it's come out beautifully.
Now, the question on everybody's lips is going to be, is Paolo going to build this? And I know you're going to lie now. Is Paolo going to build this bike, Mark?
So at the moment, this is a concept project. We do concept projects to allow the design team to stretch their legs creatively, to do things that they couldn't do every day. So at the moment, we've got no plans. Let's see what response is like. I mean, as I say, it's I'm just very pleased it's here today. So
fantastic. Oh, it's worth a clap, Mark. That's stunning. Okay, I'm going to have to ask you now to shovel back around. Got one more surprise for you. So I don't know whether everybody's noticed, but this year is our 120th anniversary. And under the last of the covers, we've got something really special to mark the occasion. So, ladies, please, if you could remove the covers. Thank you. Mark, these are absolutely beautiful. Can you tell us the backstory?
Absolutely. So as you said, Mark, this is our 120th year in continuous production, and that's absolutely unique, I think, within the motorcycle world, to have that unbroken production line. And so we wanted to do something special to celebrate that. And with these two bikes, we started by looking at some of the things that our forefathers would have been doing back in 1901. So, for example, the badges are handmade, they're hand pattern made, and then hand cast. A little foundry just south of Chennai. We developed some new finishes here. So we've got this lovely black chrome finish that we developed in the factory in-house. They're all hand pinstriped. And we picked up, there's some really nice little details on here. So if you look on the tank, there's a little motif on the top there. And when we took that motif and we made that the central theme on the top of the tank there. And we've just focused on all the details, so all the colour trim and graphic. We've worked really hard to make sure that everything is all uniform and just works really well. A lot of time spent on the hand stitching on the seats. The seats, I think, look really good as part of the whole package. So yeah, just a really nice special version of these bikes.
Arud, can we expect to see these bikes in the showroom anytime soon?
Absolutely, Mark. We expect these bikes to be in the showroom by early next year.
Fantastic. Now, I understand that the quantities are very, very limited. What sort of quantities are coming to Europe?
So it's a special year for us, Mark. It's our 120th year, so 120 is a magic number. So we'll have 60 Interceptors and 60 GTs coming into Europe early next year.
Thank you. Well, that's all from Royal Enfield today. So from Mark, Paolo, Arun and myself, thank you for your attention. The guys are all available over the next few days, along with Adrian, the project lead on Concept SG650 for interviews. So please just let us know. Now, I hope you'll join us tomorrow at 11 a.m. when outside in our arena we will be unveiling a brand new 120-year-old motorcycle, plus we'll be showing you the latest developments from Harris Performance. So with that, thank you very much for your attention. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.